So you've just seen that Kyle and Sterling are hacking out alone. I just managed to video them leaving the yard and setting out, which, to be fair, sometimes I miss that part. So yeah, I thought on today. I'd got my car in place ready to get going. Normally I'm turning my car around and things. So yeah, videoed. Do you know what? Did you see me just have a little look there? You can't obviously see from where we are, but there's like a little it's not even a pond, it's not big enough to be a pond, but there's loads of ducks and things in there. They always come at this time of year. Yeah, so that's what you had a little look at. But you can see that we have just obviously set off. I will video when we get a little bit further along on the hack, but I just think it's nice, as I say, when you can, to see them setting out. You can see that Kyle is hacking quite relaxed, and obviously so is Sterling, and that is always nice to see when we're hacking alone. Sterling's actually spent the last couple of years of his life hacking mainly with his family, living on a farm. So obviously he's used to all the farm vehicles and things like that, and farm animals. But he's probably hacked more in company the last couple of years, purely because that is the sort of routine of his family. So I thought we would not just assess him out alone, but just show you guys that he does go out alone as well. Kyle's not ridden Sterling before. This is his first ride, and as lovely as the weather is, it looks beautiful blue sky. It's quite blowy, it's quite windy, but he has hacked straight out from the stable. Kyle's well, I say Kyle's tacked up, that's not telling you the truth, guys. I've tacked up as per usual, but Kyle's jumped on and come straight out. I've got him in a snaffle today, because the bridle I picked up yesterday hadn't got a snaffle on, only because it was the bridle I picked up, so I thought I'd show him in a snaffle. But he's a really lovely horse, this horse, a very, very nice horse. In my opinion, he is the stamp of horse that everybody's looking for. So I will video as we get a little bit further through the hack, but just so you can see him hacking nicely away from home. Okay, so we're out onto the road. For those who ask about the high vis, we're literally on this hack just doing this very short bit of road work, and then we're going off down the bridle path. The reason we choose this route when we are going out alone, well, actually we don't use this route all the time when we're out alone, it's just for video purposes. That it's just a nice simple hack where I can manage to get the video of the purpose of the video is to show that the horses are hacking alone, and that I can show you obviously show you them in all three paces. So clearly I'm following in a car, and I'm pretty much in the middle of the road, so any vehicles are obviously going to see myself and see Kyle. He's also on a white horse, which does help. Okay, and there you go, that's it, that bit of road. Kyle sensibly trotted on down there, and you know what, just look at him hacking along. Kyle clearly one-handed this time, not because, oh gosh, I better look where I'm going, clearly not because he's on his phone, so we'll not blame him for that this time. But this is the part where I often say on the video that obviously you're turning off the road, it's another direction, which will all of us know that if horses are not great hacking alone, any excuse or change of direction gives them an excuse to either not to want to go on their own or to start being sillily spooky. Just look at the trees at the top, guys. That just shows you how windy it is, because you really can't grasp on here how windy it is. And this part of the hack is the hack that is really quite spooky. Now, I don't know if you can see just in front of Kyle to the left, there's something white and flapping about. Just look at how windy it is. Just look at that white thing on the gate, how flappy and everything it is. So he's doing a very, very good job of hacking alone, is Sterling. Clearly giving Kyle an easy time. And as I say, many horses are a bit spooky down there, and if you give them, you know, if horses are not great at hacking alone, if you give them a tiny excuse, they make it into a big one. We all know, and we've all been there. And to be honest, guys, when new horses come, do you know what? We don't expect them to hack alone perfectly, because they're not settled in their cells. When I say they're not settled in the cells, you can clearly see that he's very settled, but it doesn't matter how good he is, you know, they've got to have a certain amount of anxiety because they've just moved home. That would be the same with any living creature. It doesn't matter how well behaved they are or how seemingly settled they are. They must be wondering where they are, and everything's different for them. So, you know, when you see these horses hacking alone, and this is Sterling's second hack with us, only his second hack, as long as he's not getting caught in the brambles. Kyle looked at me then, don't know if you just caught that, he actually got his foot stuck in the brambles. Yeah, well, this is what you get when you video. You can't always foresee everything. And he's clearly just wanting to walk on the grass a little bit. He has been being barefoot, guys, but he is now shod in front, not behind. Perhaps if he's doing a lot of hacking on the stones, he perhaps could do with 4 shoes on, not just 2 front. So I will get my car parked up because I can't drive down there, and we will catch Kyle coming back up, hopefully in canter. Right, guys. I wasn't quick enough to video there, but Kyle's just hacked past his friends. The cows come to see what's going on. Okay, hopefully you can still hear me because it is a bit breezy into the speaker, into the microphone. I won't go too far down myself, but Kyle will go out of sight at some point, but obviously you can see him nicely hacking out, nicely going down the bridle path. Kyle clearly still not even concentrating. Luke, he's just got his dangling his right arm. Right, I can see him coming back up. I'm standing here with his I've got to say, guys, I've obviously ridden Sterling, and he is probably one of the most comfortable horses you will ever ride. His canter is to die for. His trot's lovely as well. Do you know what? Even his walk, but yeah, his canter's to die for. And he is a little poppet. Look at that lovely little canter. Oh my gosh, these cows are right next to me. Look at him. Very polite. Nice little pat. Sterling there from Kyle. Lovely. He is just lovely. He'd be a great horse to take fun rides and things like that, because he's that horse that you could ride for hours. He's just super comfortable. He's nice and comfortable. He's not too forward. He's not too lazy. He's very, very easy to ride. Very easy. Very easy to horse to have around. Right. Let me get back in my car. Okay, I've got the easy part. Sorry if the sun is glaring, guys. Obviously there's nothing I can do about that, but Sterling is quite happily, quietly sauntering back up the road after his canter. I am sorry the visibility is not great here on this this part of the filming, but you'll just have to bear with. But yeah, as I was just saying, you know, great to go on fun rides. I think he would, I mean, it's almost a shame to say riding school, but it's not a shame, because There's many very, very good riding schools out there that take super care of their horses, always provide a good safe space and secure place for the horses as well. And you know what, he would, oh, that's better when the sun's not glaring. Someone could really take not advantage, but yeah, use that as to their advantage of Sterling's education, experience. He's a very nice horse to ride, as I've just said. We're finding him very easy to ride. You can tell that he's an experienced horse. And you know, he is very well schooled. He's got lovely paces, very easy to ride paces. I'd say push button paces as well. He's got a nice steady pace, but not a lazy pace, not a sharp pace, but you know, a very nice, that sort of nice steady, rhythmical and balanced pace is the word I'm looking for, I think. Great attitude to life. He jumps as well, show jumps and natural fences as well. So he's a great size. You can see carrying Kyle very nicely. Kyle is 6'1", 6'2". He's taller than 6'1", not quite 6'2". Carrying him perfectly. He's a real good stamp. He's an Irish sports horse. He's 15 years old. I have given him a little bath and a good groom, found no lumps or bumps, found no melanomas, nothing like that. Obviously, guys, I am only human with a pair of hands, but I've run them all over him and done. Right, I turned my camera off there by accident, and I was having to try and do a little bit of clutch control on the hill. Just one of my many talents with this video malarkey. Let me zoom in, let me get it on there. I should. Right. So obviously back on the road towards home. So yeah, lovely stamp of a horse, great nature. He has been living out 24/7 in his previous home of 2 years, with not really any routine, just because that's the way they are kept on the farm. Pretty much sort of freelance, ride when they want to ride and not when they don't. There's obviously a lot of things to be done on the farm, which means they can't always. I better catch up because I'm miles behind. Which means obviously they can't always be riding. So he's been used to not really hardly any routine. I don't know what he's trying to tell me. Right, guys, hang on. No, keep going. I think he's saying, do I want to go past? So yeah, he's been used to that. We had him out on the first night because I didn't have space. He's now been in, and he will stay in now, largely because he's grey and I'm not keep having to bath every time I want to ride him. And obviously he's under strict assessment, so it's easy to have him in where I know where he is and he's easily accessible, and I can then do the videos. He's been quite happy quite enjoying his stable. He's actually lived out and been unrugged for 2 years, but yeah, I'm a little bit OTT with the whole rugging and keeping them in and things, guys. So he's loving his stable. He is rugged up and he's bathed, and we're doing a good job of keeping him quite nice and clean. He's actually got a nice coat. I did have him with the intention to clip him, thinking that his coat would be a little bit more wintry than it is, but there's been no need, guys. He's got a nice coat and it's coming out and it's quite fine, so I've no need to have clipped him. He's already said he's shod in front. So yeah, somebody who perhaps hasn't got a budget a large budget, but still wants a nice quality horse, and one that doesn't require riding every day. I suppose like any horse, the more they do, the better they always are, but you know, at the same time, life doesn't always work out that way. So very, very nice hack out alone. I think Kyle quite likes him. He's obviously trying to tell me something. This is all the sign language on the video. Oh, I know what he's showing me. That's either 2 chickens or my mum. Ah, naughty dogs. Let me show you 2 little getaways. I don't know if you can see them running. They are Peggy and the old girl Peaches, and that's not our field, by the way, guys, so they shouldn't be in there. They belong to mother. Oh, there's Peggy. Recognising my car. Peggy, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Hey? You shouldn't be there. Go on now, go home. Go home. Sorry about that, guys. There you go. So, the lovely Sterling, showing him South to be the good boy that he is. Hopefully I've given you enough information. Anything else, feel free to ask.